Does your ordinary radio feel a little limited? If you're looking for a new way to listen, it's time for a fresh start. Introducing the Live the Dream Media app, your premier destination and a new level up for digital radio. Over the last 2 years, we've found new ways to ensure your digital radio experience is the best it can possibly be. From live podcasts that spark new perspectives to a 24/7 soundtrack of live music, and even our built-in merch store, we've built a platform that is convenient, high quality, and simple to navigate. But we're only just getting started. Catch all of our shows weekly and join the Live the Dream Media family today and help us change the airwaves forever. Download it for free on the App Store or Play Store today. Live the dream. The dream starts now.
Your favorite radio just got bigger, bolder, and better connected. Live the Dream Media is revolutionizing how you stay tuned in. With our explosive growth in online radio and our brand new mobile app, your entertainment goes wherever you do. Stream your favorite shows, discover new hits, and connect with audiences across the digital landscape, all at your fingertips. Advertisers don't miss out. Join our expanding digital network and reach engaged listeners across platforms. Download the Live the Dream Media app today and experience radio reimagined.
Thank you for tuning in to the Live the Dream Media Network. We've got an incredible slate of live podcasts waiting for you every week right here on our app. Get your morning started right with Wake Up, hosted by Christopher DeSimone, airing Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 a.m. The momentum continues every Monday morning at 9 with the Marana and Oro Valley Experience, hosted by David Samorano and Clint Peak, followed by Truth and Tell with Blair Lametti and Summer Smeaton at 10:30 a.m. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, join us at 9 a.m. for Southwest Flavor, and don't miss Sobriety, Spirituality, and Sales every Tuesday from 10 to 11 a.m. Every Wednesday at 9 a.m., Bruce Ash brings you the inside track, and we wrap up the week every Friday at 9 a.m. with former NBA player Bob Elliott on The Bob Elliott Show. It's all happening live every week. Stay tuned, stay informed, and keep living the dream.
Good morning. Welcome to Southwest Flavor. Happy Thursday to everyone. We have a great show going on for you today. We have our guest host, Dr. Joe Utash from Wellness Key Chiropractic. Welcome.
Good morning, everybody.
How you doing today?
I'm looking forward to it. I got my exercise in this morning. I'm ready to learn.
Good. I got a little bit of exercise too, but we had a little run-in with someone on the loop this morning, so we cut our ride in short. So
man.
Well,
Was it a bike crash?
No, it was undesirable person on the loop.
Yes. We got to be careful, especially on certain areas of the loop. I've
it was
seen.
up here on the northwest side.
Man,
so like in between you and me. So
wow.
Yeah.
I've seen that along the bus stop where I would not want to. It used to be, our office is right along the loop, and that was in fact why we bought it. Is we wanted to be right there on the loop, take the kids in the stroller walks. I mean, it was part of our lifestyle.
Yeah.
And over the last few years, unfortunately, I have seen. There's been ups and downs, but some areas and some stretches that I would not want to take my stroller down any longer.
Yes, yep, you got it, yep. That's unfortunate. And we have a guest today. His name is Rodney Cox. He owns GameTime Recruiting and Consulting, and he will be calling in here in just a moment if he's not already in. But he's a recruiter that helps high school athletes with the recruiting process to get them to the next level.
And I was looking into this, and I'm actually pretty excited. So I have a a couple of kiddos as you do, Ron, that are in sports, and mine are a bit younger. But I kind of, as the father of a almost 13-year-old and an 8-year-old or almost 9-year-old, I want to see like what are some things that we can do to prep these guys to maybe get some scholarships, maybe maybe save some money in the future, and what was the path? What are the paths? What are some things that we should be doing at an early stage to give our kids the best chances and opportunities, but then also, as parents, maybe save a couple dollars ourselves.
Of course. And there is options out there. And not all of them are D1 schools.
Sure.
I mean, there's other options out there too. He helped us with our youngest son.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah,
okay.
we hired him. We hired his services. And
okay.
Went to some different schools.
Okay.
Looked at them. So.
I know now my cousin's kids are much older than mine, and one's already been picked up by Texas Longhorns for baseball. And so I'm not sure the process. I know that he is on some different travel teams, and there's certain clinics that he has to go to where there's more recruiters there from different and more, I guess, scouts from different colleges where he plays. But he's a junior, I believe, this year. Oh, it could be the senior this year, and he's already signed the deal. He's from what I understand, it's a thing as long as he doesn't hurt himself.
Oh, good. That's real good. We had some smaller D2 schools that were really after Luke. Unfortunately, they were way on the other side
of the country.
Of the country, yeah. They were like Minnesota, Nebraska, not the University of Minnesota, but smaller colleges in University, Nebraska, South Dakota. So
yeah, it's that would be a culture and temperature shock, I believe, to your kids.
Yes, yeah. The one in Nebraska, the guy said you don't even need to bring a car because the town is so small. You're just gonna walk everywhere.
Believe it or not, that was my first 2 years college experience as well.
Okay.
And so I never had a car. There's a couple people that did have cars, but like the parking lot was like a half a mile or so, and so we hardly ever used a car. The town was so small in Alma, Michigan, that you just walked everywhere. You could walk to the pizza place, walk to 7-Eleven, and then the whole campus had it was kind of like this little in the middle of nowhere, Alma, Michigan, and the college like made up the population, that and the professors, and so it was a really cool college experience for sure.
I'm reading a message right now. We're trying to get Rodney on the call. Says wait for a host. Okay.
Technology.
I know.
Already,
great.
Ron. You're already doing better than I am. So this is you're at a level higher than I would ever imagine, having someone call in like this or beam in, so to speak.
Usually it works great. Once in a while we have glitches, so we apologize for that.
So, Ron, did you play any sports in high school?
I did. I played soccer and I ran track.
And did any of that lead into anything, wanting to do anything further with that?
I wanted to, yes, but I was a really bad student at the time.
Fair enough.
I had no interest in school. I was chasing girls and drinking beer and...
Man, I was just like the opposite. Like my parents didn't go to or didn't finish college, and so I was going to be the first generation to kind of go to school, and so we were looking at schools, and I was an athlete in school as well, so I got the privilege of just kind of at that small school we were just talking about, kind of walking onto their track team, which was miserable, and I think my back is still hurting because of that. Oh yeah, well I did long jump, believe it or not. I know
okay.
I'm a short white guy, but we did long jump, and it was, I guess, a division. I don't know. It was a small school, so we just mostly around Michigan and I guess Indiana and Ohio,
right.
In that area, and but we practiced inside and outside in the winter, and so that was just awful. And then there's not exactly like soft sand pits in the winter in Michigan.
Oh yeah, and everything's frozen and hard. Right?
All that jump training that we did, it was just pounding, and I think that's one of the reasons I became a chiropractor is because of all that pounding on my spine. I used to be able to run fast, but when you're a teenager in early 20s, that's great, but then all that pounding,
running is really hard. It's hard on your knees. It's hard on your back.
Feet, everything. Yeah, I mean everything. I have another patient who's he's my dad's age, and he actually ran at West Point.
Oh, wow.
And he not only just ran, he like ran really well at West Point.
Yeah.
And but now, knees, back, everything is just, when you go hard at it, I've seen that, if you don't take care of it, it comes back and gets you later on. For a lot of people, I've noticed that.
Yeah. Even like our track coaches would tell us, like, because we were long distance runners. So
Okay.
we'd run from like Tucson High, we'd run down to like Reed Park. So, it'd be like a 5 or 6 mile round trip, in May, and sometimes it was 100 degrees already.
That's brutal.
But they said, don't ride on, or don't run on the sidewalk, because that concrete just doesn't give you any
Even more,
forgiveness.
shin splints. And, in the last 20 years, shoes have gotten a little bit better.
Sure. Oh, yeah. Well, it was almost 40 years. So back when I was running in high school. But yeah, run on the dirt,
Right.
and then if you have to, run on the asphalt because it's better than the
cement,
concrete.
right? Yeah, no doubt.
And then I'm thinking all the years that I played, like at the park, playing basketball on those concrete, basketball courts.
Yep. Jumping up, down,
Yeah.
come slamming down.
Yeah.
We were lucky to have a rec center in our city where we played a lot of indoor basketball on the wood
yeah.
floors, and it's a little bit more giving.
Oh, yeah. It definitely is.
A little
Yeah.
more forgiving, anyhow.
Yeah. I kind of like my junior high and high school years kind of grew up on the weekends at the YMCA.
So that's awesome.
Yeah, at the old downtown old downtown location, which was like right across from Tucson High.
Okay.
It was an old, like it's been gone for 30 years, maybe
Oh, yeah.
25 or 30 years.
Yeah, so it was before I got down here.
Yeah. But they had a big gym, which they could kind of split it up. There he is. And have multiple basketball, games on there, and then they had a small gym where they, is real small, like you couldn't have any spectators or anything. All right, he is here, Rodney Cox. How you doing?
Good morning.
Yo, listen, good morning. I had to
Thank you
move
for
it to
trying
my
multiple.
phone. I
Yeah.
guess the computer thing didn't work. So we're here.
Yeah. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much for keep on trying.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. How you doing this morning?
Hey, I'm doing good. How about yourself, Mr. Ron?
We're doing good. We're doing good. So, Dr. Joe Utash, our chiropractor, is here with us, and
Good morning.
Okay.
yeah,
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
we're just talking a little bit about the recruiting process. And you helped us with Luke, with getting
Mhm.
recruited on the football side of it, and Dr. Joe has some younger kids that are athletes, and he kind of wants to know a little bit about that process and the do's and don'ts of how you get started.
Yeah. So
Okay, listen.
yeah, what does that look like?
So listen.
How'd you get into that?
Okay, wait. Before we get to that, I'm gonna need you, doctor, because listen, my right hip is hurting. Okay. And I need a chiropractor. So I'm gonna need some information from you. I guess I'm getting old. Listen, this is my last year in my 30s. And ever since then, I'm like, man, my back is hurting. So we'll talk about that. Um,
Well,
Yes, we will. We will. So, as far as the recruiting process, obviously, Mr. Ryan, you know who I am with GameTime Recruiting and Consulting. With that, obviously, we help with high school, the recruiting process, right? Just making it easier for the parent to go through that process, right? Of who to talk to, templates on how to, introduce yourself to coaches, what camps to go to, using social media. So, doctor, with you having young kids, I would say the first thing is social media. That is huge nowadays, right? Huge with, like with my football players, we use Twitter. With my volleyball players, we use more of Instagram. With softball and basketball, again, more on that Instagram side. Because again, that is your resume, So with putting that social media together, make sure you have the right film, make sure it's catching that coach's attention, and things like that. So the first thing I would say is make sure you have a great foundation with social media.
All right.
that's a great thing. Now, that my kids are actually. I was kind of looking at your at some of your background, some of the placements you've done. Have you done any swimmers?
So, what's crazy? I've only done one.
Okay.
This was, oh my God, see, my son is 9. So this was literally 9 years ago. I had a young lady, because I used to live in Alabama, and she was good. Oh my God, she was good. She could have went Division 2. She decided to go Division 3 because she wanted to be the big fish in the small pond.
Okay.
Um, She broke records. We got her to Birmingham Southern College, which again is in Alabama, and she loved it. Like she has her names in record books and
That's
all
cool.
that fun stuff. But she had the times to go Division 2 and probably like a small Division 1, but she wanted to be known. So I said, "Hey, baby, hey, go ahead, go Division 3. I'm all for it."
Yep. Yep.
So my daughter is now almost 13 years old, and yes, proud dad here. But she like took second in the state in breaststroke in her age group. So she's been kind of sticking with it and very competitive. Firstborn of two firstborns. So
Mhm.
we're talking before high school now. So you think that maybe even kind of watching some races, some competition, some meets, taking some videos, and then kind of having her kind of swim page type of thing, and we could even possibly keep it private or whatnot. That's one thing I'm always a little worried about is kids, bathing suits.
Right.
In fact, there's even some
Mhm.
rules at some meets that you can't even shoot at
Mm.
certain angles because of there's of course there's the weirdos out
Yeah.
there.
Right.
So I will say yes. Now the thing I have here we go. With her being so young, is this something that she wants to do? Right. And that's why like a lot of parents always ask me, like, Rodney, when do you start the recruiting process? Or when will you look at my son or my daughter? And I'll be honest with them. I'm like, until they get to ninth grade, because I want them to love the sport first. Right. So with that being said, like, seventh grade, eighth grade, I'll probably take a look, but I'm not really going to bring them a part of, like, let's say the game time family
Sure.
until they get to high school to really know, like, hey, is this really what you want to do? Because let's be honest, it is an investment, it is a commitment. Mr. Ron knows I hold these kids, or I call them kids, but I hold these student athletes accountable, because again, I can't want it more than you.
Right.
So at the end of the day, we ever since with you, Mr. Ryan, I mean, we've grown tremendously, right? Just with the athletes and just with the connections and the platform that we have, where I'm not just in it for the money, and you know that. You know what I mean? I want to make sure that it's the best for both worlds. That hey, when you sign on with Game Time, you're going to have a great opportunity to get to college as a student athlete.
Right. Right. And I love just the fact that you help the kids teach them like how to talk to a coach. Because some of the Luke went to CDO, and I think that their coaching staff did a really good job of, you know, actually being social, like being able to talk to people.
Mhm.
Because we've hired kids in my business from the CDO football team, and they look you in your eye, they shake your hand, they know how to hold a conversation. But not all kids have that, and not all programs have that. And I love that that's part of what you do is, hey, you have to be able to talk to these coaches. You have to be able to present yourself. So you want to talk a
Mhm.
little bit about
Mhm.
that?
Absolutely. So again, this is as much fun as this recruiting process is. It's a job interview,
Mm-hmm.
right? So with that being said, we do help with again how to talk to coaches because first impression is last impression, right?
Right.
Again, we have templates of how to start the conversation, what questions to ask. Because let's be honest, a lot of these kids are part of the COVID era, right? Where all they know is they're always on their phone, right? And
Right.
sometimes they talk like they text. So I have to break I have to break that cycle. Like, hey, don't say what's up, coach, or don't say, hey, coach. It's good afternoon, good morning. How are you doing? Things like that. So we do help with that. Just again to get them comfortable talking to a coach. Because let's be honest, you and we're comfortable talking to a coach. Introduce ourselves to somebody new. But with these kids, sometimes they get nervous. So we got to get them comfortable. I call it, we got to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Because it is an uncomfortable situation where you have to say, how you doing, coach? My name is Rodney Cox from, Cathedral High School, right? I might be a little nervous. I might stumble over my words. But when you have someone like Game Time, like myself and my scouts, helping you do that process, you're not that nervous.
Uh-oh. Hey, Roddy, we're gonna take a quick sponsor break. We're having a little bit of problems the hearing you. I don't know if it's our connection or your connection, but we're gonna go to sponsor break and see if we can do anything about the connection. All right. We will be right back with Southwest Flavor.
In Marana, community isn't just where we live, it's who we are. And at the heart of it all is the Chamber of Commerce. We are building a thriving community through connected business leadership. We start the month bright and early with Marana Mornings, sparking real conversations and connections. We celebrate growing networks at our 4th Tuesday mixers, hosted in exciting spaces. We unite visionaries and leaders at Impact Marana, driving meaningful progress together. We look ahead with Marana Insights, hearing directly from regional voices about what's next for our town. And we serve, through the passion of our board of directors and ambassadors, creating a culture of belonging through service and leadership. Because of our members, we're not just doing more, we're becoming more. Together, we're shaping the future of Marana. We are the Marana Chamber of Commerce.
Estrella Insurance on Irvington Road will help you with all your insurance needs. If you feel like you have a hard case due to a moving violation, a DUI, a suspended license or a car accident, contact us and come to Estrella Insurance on Irvington Road and get a quote today. Open late hours y hablamos español. Estrella Insurance, an agency you can trust.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
Tucson is sizzling in June, but your house doesn't have to. Most HVAC companies talk about trust. Pixrock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing puts it in writing. Every repair backed by a 5-year warranty for our Home Wellness Club members. That's not a promise, that's a guarantee. Call us at 520-492-0748 or make your appointment online at pixrockscooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Piper Family Painting. We believe great paint does more than just change a color. It protects a home and the people inside of it. From careful prep to the final coat, our team shows up with pride, precision, and respect for your property. We don't rush, we don't cut corners. We paint it like it's our own home, because in this Tucson community, it is. Piper Family Painting, bringing new colors to the Old West.
Therapeutic Ranch for Animals and Kids is an inclusive community empowered and united by the strength of the human-animal bond.
It taught me responsibility. It taught me kindness and social interaction.
We have programs for every member of our community.
I love track because I have 2 daughters. We come out here and get all of our energy out.
Track is my home away from home.
You can make a donation or even become a monthly donor.
Thank you for supporting Track, Tucson's Ranch. We hope to see you here soon.
Life is all about change and growth. You grow from renting to buying, your kids grow from toddling to driving, and then you grow from working to retiring. Is your insurance agent growing through life with you? I'm your local Allstate agent, Brittany Gutman. My team and I can help you navigate all those changes through home, auto, and life insurance. You're in good hands with the Brittany Gutman Allstate Insurance family. Call me at 520-797-7811 or email bgutman@allstate.com.
All right, we are back. Dr. Joe and hopefully Rodney are still with us, and we're talking a little bit about the recruiting process for, we're looking at the different things coming up on the screens. The recruiting process for your young athlete going from high school to college. Is Rodney still there? I think he dropped. So I think he's trying to call back in.
I want to hear, what would even qualify you to think about going in and hiring a recruiter or hiring someone like Rodney to get to that next level. So, I mean, do you have to be the best kid on the city, the best kid at the school? Like, what level do we need to be at? And then,
right.
What are some things that they're looking for? When it comes to colleges, I understand you kind of walked on, and we were talking about, I was at a very small school where it was just kind of like, can you do it? And can you basically make the meets and show up to practice? And, you might not get to play or not, or, get to do too much, but we can keep you on the team.
Yeah.
And so, what qualifies a person to, even work with you, Rodney? I don't know if you can hear me or not. And then also, what level does the athlete have to be at to start thinking that, hey, maybe I do want to do this in college?
Okay. Hey, Rodney, there you are. Did you hear the question?
Yes, I heard everything. Yes,
Okay.
yes. And again, I do apologize for that. I don't know what's going on because now I'm on my computer. So
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't know. But yes, doctor, I did hear it. What qualifies you to let's just say for us to work with someone, right? The first thing is I always ask for grades. Okay. Because
Yes.
at the end of the day, you're a student first and you're an athlete second. So that's one. The second thing is I always ask for film, something so I can see does this student athlete have what it takes to go to the next level? Because let's be honest, sometimes, not all athletes have the talent to make it, right? And sometimes that's just a harsh reality. So I want to do my due diligence with the parents, with myself, to make sure that I'm, looking at the grades, looking at their talent. And then from there, again, Mr. Ryan knows this, I want to meet with you either through Zoom or in person. Before we even talk about a plan, I got to see if, like, hey, does the kid want to do this? What's their goals? How far do they want to travel? Do they want to stay in the West Coast? Are they open to going to the East Coast? What do they want to major in? Stuff like that. So we do have a system where we look at those three things, and then from there we'll talk about the financial commitment. And again, Mr. Ron knows this is I tell my parents, pray about it, talk about it as a family. And if you feel that Game Time can help your son or daughter get to the next level, we're here. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. We're not for everybody. I'm just gonna be honest. You know what I mean? But for the parents who join Game Time, and I mean, we've been doing this for the last 9 years. We have, I think it's like 627 athletes over that span. We know what to do. We know how to get kids looked at. And when you work with us, you have a higher chance of making it and getting exposure to receive offers to get to college.
Got it.
Right.
Got it.
Exactly.
Now, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I love that you mentioned, that, the grades and their students first, because some of the athletes, some of the students don't realize that, that's so important. And I remember, especially at the NAU camps, because we went to a lot of NAU camps because that's where Luke wanted to go. And the defensive coordinator, he just, we loved him. He was just that straightforward guy. He's like, you need to make the grades. You need to keep your nose clean. If you do something stupid, you're going to be off the team, or we're not going to look at you. So I love that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and again, that's just a big thing. It's just, again, this is a job interview, right? They're looking at, let's say, Luke, who's in Arizona, and there's another Luke that's in Texas, California, Kansas, Oregon. So what makes you different that they want to go after, Luke in Arizona than, let's say, Luke in Oregon? So you got to keep your nose clean. You got to, you got to have great film, and just be like, here we go. Just be normal. Some of these kids try to do too much, right? Like it's too much. Hey, just be yourself. Yes, sir, no, sir, and just take care of business.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. My daughter's coach right now, and I think it's unfortunately it might be his last year. He's 80. He's been doing this around town he's well known around town for the last, I think, 50 something years.
Wow.
Been a swim coach here, and he's amazing because he's that old school black and white. It is a yes sir, no sir, and there's just like he loves everybody, but then he doesn't. He holds a strong line, which is
that's
something
great.
Something I rarely see, unfortunately, in coaches these days, but it's really helped his kids, kind of get to that next level. So where they're performing at whatever God gave them, they're performing at their best because he keeps pushing at them and keeps holding the line with love.
Yep, exactly. So Rodney, tell us a little bit about your history.
Oh man, listen. So my history is this. Currently live here in Arizona. Okay. Grew up in LA, California. Man, from a young age, played football, out of high school, got recruited, walked on and played at Arizona State. Received my scholarship. Oh my gosh, like within 3 months, right? Coach Cutter blessed me, and the rest was history. I got to play, safety, graduated, played arena ball in Green Bay, Wisconsin, tore my knee week 7, came back to Arizona. Oh, I know them injuries. I know. And then came back to Arizona, went back to school to get my master's in sports management. And then, again, started Game Time, 9 years ago because my son is turning 9 in 3 days. So, 9 years ago. And we've been just doing this ever since. So we love it. We love it. Absolutely.
Yeah. We can tell. I mean, you have the passion for it, and when we first contacted you and, we had that Zoom interview and everything, I mean, we could tell that you really do care about the kids. And I talked to other parents before I talked to you, and just asked them what their experiences were with you and if they were happy with you and if it helped their kids. And they all had great things to say about you.
I appreciate. Listen, we work hard, right? Because you know how you have good apples and you have bad apples,
Sure.
So sometimes, in this business, and that's why we're very particular on who we bring to our family, right? Because at the end of the day, that's really what it is, right? It's like, hey, I'm here for you. Like I tell all my kids, right? I'm gonna be like your second dad, your Dr. Phil, and your big brother, right? Because you know this. I was talking to Luke every week, like, hey, how's everything going? Hey, have a great week, or hey, have a great game, things like that, because they hear from mom and dad a lot. But when you have somebody that's on the outside but still supports you, it gives them that sense of like, okay, I can really do it. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So we love it. I'm not going anywhere, right? My team is growing. We have scouts again since you and I was, since, oh my God, years ago, right? We have scouts in Indiana, Oregon, Colorado, here in Arizona, and again, all different sports. So, basketball, football, baseball, volleyball. Hopefully one day we can get a scout in swimming, right, doctor? I got you, okay? But we're just having fun. We're just having fun because this process is hard, especially with like the transfer portal, right?
Yeah, the landscape.
Again, yes. It has changed tremendously, and now with this whole 5-for-5 rule and the roster cap with football again and all these other sports, I can tell it stresses parents out. But when you have someone that understands the process and loves what they do, it's like, okay, I can be mom and dad. Let Rodney handle the recruiting process and what he knows and the expertise. And at the end of the day, everybody wins. So we're just having fun.
Right.
I love that. I love that.
Do you have anything else?
Well, yeah. I mean, like, so let's say who is like a best fit for your organization. So, Ron and I were talking off air. Maybe you heard some of it, but are you talking like the top athlete of the school, the best person on the team? Are you talking about who is like a person like, I could probably work with them, and I think I can actually get them in to this type of school, and possibly we can talk a little scholarship, or we can see what's the connection, and obviously there's there to spend some resources with you to possibly save some resources in the future, right? So who is the person? Who are you like talking to? Like, man, this is like my favorite type of athlete that I want to work with right now.
Doctor, that's a great question, because I always get asked that, because like when people see the caliber that we have, they think, oh man, Rodney just goes for the best guys. And I don't. Like we will get them, so I'll give you a prime example. So like we know the Russian family, right, from South Point. So I've been teamed up with them with, oh my gosh, with Elijah, with Cruz, and now with, I call him Agent Zero, but David, you know what I mean? So with that, like those are like my Division Ones, right? But like we've helped out Division Twos and Division Three athletes and NAIA. We've even helped kids get to JUCO. The point that we come across is this: if you have the love for the sport and you have the grades, we will help you, right? But you got to have the love for you got to love being a student athlete. Now, we're not going to say, hey, we're only looking at all D1 kids. No, because let's be honest, that's unrealistic, right? Because it's only a small number that's that, top athlete. Now, if you want to play, and let's say you might be undersized, hey, we can help you get Division II, Division III, NAIA, and stuff like that. So we don't just go after the top athletes. We go after the kids that really want to do it. And let's be honest, right? Because Mr. Ron knows this. Most of my business comes from Southern Arizona, okay? And we talk about this a lot, is it's slept on. There's a lot of talent out there. And for some reason, like either coaches, they will literally go through Tucson to head to Phoenix, right? Or when they come here to Phoenix, they don't go to Southern Arizona. So I love it that I kind of like get to be that source. Like, hey, if you're trying to go to college, go talk to Rodney, because he's helped kids from Flowing Wells, Marana, Walden Grove, things, Benson, Wilcox, so those outlier schools to really help these kids get to college. So, again, we don't have like not a stigma, but we don't have like a, hey, D1, D2. We just want to be there for the kids that have the love to want to play at the next level. And hopefully that did answer your question.
You did. Thank you.
All right, Rodney. Well, hey, thank you so much for coming on, man. You are welcome to come on the show anytime. So
I appreciate you. All right, listen, tell the family I said hello, right? And yeah, we'll definitely talk after this. Doctor, the next time I'm in Tucson, I'm coming to see you. Okay.
We'll work on that hip and back. We'll get you moving again.
Yep.
Thank you. Hey, you know what it is? Real quick. It's my L5. It's my spondylosis. It hurts.
I've been there. That's why I became a chiropractor. And I have no disc L5, S1. So I sympathize with you.
Okay. Well, listen, everybody, thank you again, Mr. Ron. Thank you, Doctor. Have a blessed day. Have a blessed week. And then I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care.
All right. We're going to go to break. We will be back in just a couple minutes with Southwest Flavor.
Hey, Tucson. Why do we accept pain as normal just because we're over 40? Nearly 8 out of 10 Americans suffer with back pain. At Wellness Chiropractic, we help people after car accidents with chronic neck and back pain, numbness tingling down the arms. If you're like me, you like to spend time outside with the family, hiking, biking, everything. Don't let that pain stop you. Wellness Key Chiropractic, we help that body move better so you can be the better version of yourself.
I've had water and mold damage in my house twice. Both times I freaked out, but I called Steamy Concepts right away. If anyone tries to tell you to use someone else, just say no way and call Steamy today.
About a year ago, we had a flood in our kitchen, and we didn't think to call anyone else but Steamy Concepts. They were very professional, and we really enjoyed working with Steamy Concepts.
Steamy Concepts accepts all homeowners insurance. Call Steamy today or go to steamyconcepts.com.
Arcadia Landscape has been a part of the Tucson community for over 40 years. In that time, we have grown from landscape maintenance and construction to tree services, water features, reptile removals, irrigation repairs and installations, and low voltage lighting. It's our mission to keep our community clean and educated so you and your family can enjoy it just as much as we do. No job is too big or too small. Contact us today for your landscaping needs.
From the fields of wheat and cotton to the heart of our community, Marana was built on hard work and family values. John Post has farmed this land for years, built businesses, and served this community for decades. As mayor, John will fight for sustainable growth that respects our roots, keep neighborhoods safe, and make sure Marana remains the best place in Arizona to raise a family. John Post, farmer, father, and neighbor.
Hi, I'm Jackie Craig. I'm running as a write-in candidate for the Town of Marana Town Council. The way that these three candidates worked with a PAC out of California, Worker Power, and they derailed the downtown development project to develop downtown Marana into a real downtown. We can't have people who have such a misunderstanding of what Marana needs winning the council race. Fill in the little circle, write my name, Jackie Craig, for the Town of Marana Town Council.
For over 36 years, John Officer has lived, worked, and served right here in Marana. As an Arizona native and your town councilman, John brings a lifetime of local experience to the big decisions shaping our future. From coaching Eagle Scouts to his decades of work in water maintenance, John is the boots-on-the-ground leader we need. He listens to our residents and stands firmly behind our Marana police and fire departments to keep our community safe. John Officer is dedicated to protecting our resources and preserving the independent soul of our town. Vote John Officer for Marana Town Council.
My name is Terry Murphy, and I am running for Marana Town Council. I have lived in Marana for 31 years. I love our community, and I would like to see more ballparks, an equestrian center. I would love to see kids have an opportunity to fish and boat with their families. I think growth is extremely important, and I think that with proper infrastructure and proper layout and proper design, that we can create a community that everybody wants to live in. I am asking for your vote, Terry Murphy from Marana Town Council.
All right, we are back. Check out Southwest Flavor every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. I'm here with Dr. Joe.
Good morning, everybody.
Yeah, so that was an interesting conversation.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Any parent, Ron and I are in our 40s. And
We'll go with that.
We'll go with that. And so, the people that are in our age group who have kids that are aspiring athletes, how do I navigate this new world and they're loving the sport? How can I, like we were just talking off air here, how do I place them with the right school so that, if they want the most playing time, they have this opportunity. If they want the best school, then they have this opportunity.
Yeah.
And so we were talking about that, and of course the scholarships that might come along with that as well.
Yeah, it's kind of just matching that kid to the right situation, the right school. I mean, the great thing is, when you go to these different schools, you're kind of interviewing the coaches, the staff, and they're interviewing you.
100%.
So it's a two-way street. But I'm sure that you could walk into a couple different schools and be like, yeah, I don't want my kid playing for that coach.
Right. Right. Or even this, this just doesn't feel good. Like there's a feel to certain things. Does the environment feel good? Does this feel like, like home, or does this feel like, ooh, this is like always away? Like this is always always a little off.
Yeah. We did one recruiting trip is to Western New Mexico. So it's in Silver City.
Okay.
Very small school. But Luke saw one of the kids like 2 years older than him that played at CDO. And that was playing there.
Oh, okay.
So they got to talk for like 10 minutes. And, it was cool.
Very cool.
Because he got that like insider.
Sure. I love that.
Yeah.
I love the inside game. I don't know, you get to talk to lots of different people. I love talking to different patients and just saying, hey, in this industry, give me an inside tip. How do I navigate this world a little bit better? And so I'm a lifelong learner. I want to know. I want to learn more. How do I do this game of life a little bit better?
That's right.
That's how I'm always thinking about it.
That secret sauce.
Yeah. What is it? Like, if you've been in, HVAC for a long time. So, what is a tip right now that people, we're like a triple digit week right now, right?
Yes.
So, obviously business must be pretty good right now. So, but for us regular people on the street who have a couple of ACs that may be a few years old, what should we be thinking? What should we be doing to make sure that these things are moving and running properly, that we're not going to be caught, at 100 something degrees, and at 9 o'clock at night, they break down.
Right. As a homeowner, you should always get your AC serviced, just that yearly service. It's like,
what does that mean?
So
what's the service?
Usually someone comes out, usually in the spring, but we could even come out during this time. But we go over everything, just make sure everything is working properly and, the most efficient that it can. And if there's problems there that we see, then we can say, we give you the heads up. We're like, hey, this motor's starting to leak oil. It's still working right now, but we can see the signs. There's oil, spilled all over it. So, it could go out tomorrow. It could go out in 2 years, but
at least we have a heads up a little bit.
Yeah, you have that heads up on it, and just nice. Cleaning out the coils. The best thing that a homeowner can do is change your air filter every month.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, change your air filter every month.
Because you're talking about coils, and that's way above my head. I will not be rubbing out coils or anything like that, but I can change a filter.
Sure. Yeah. And then, you have your outdoor condenser, so that unit that's out in your side yard, backyard, wherever it is, make sure that it's not, that stuff isn't growing into it, the weeds and all that stuff. And then you can take the garden hose and just spray it off. It doesn't even have to be off. It could be running while you spray it off.
Okay.
So as long as the covers are on it and, you're not spraying into the electrical part, which
bad.
You shouldn't. Yeah. But just spray those coils off, try to get that dirt off of them.
Are there some other signs that I might know? Like, we just had that rain last night, that my AC unit is kind of maybe on its last leg.
Well, when it's these triple degree temperatures, if it's just not keeping up, if it, you set it at whatever, 76, 74, whatever you set it at, and 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 to 5 is your hottest part of the day. Because it kind of just heats up all day, and then that's kind of the clock.
So should it be running that basically that entire time, 3 to 5?
Oh yeah, pretty much. Especially when it's 105, 110, 112. Yeah,
Ouch.
It's just going to be running all the time. It's doing its job. That's what it's designed for. It's designed for for that capacity at the hottest part of the day.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. So it's designed for that.
But if it's not keeping up, if you have it set at 74 and leave your thermostat alone, if that's the temperature that you want and someone's in the house, just leave it at that desired temperature. But if you see that hottest part of the day, it's not, it's 80, it's 79, it's not keeping up, then something's going on. Something's going on. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you see that a lot of people aren't matched with where they buy a smaller or bigger unit than they're supposed to have when you guys go in there?
No, yeah, usually people have the right size unit. Most of the time they do.
Is there a disadvantage with going with a bigger unit than you might not fully need?
Yes. Yeah. The bigger isn't better. I mean, it should be sized properly. And that's why when we go in and we look at replacing a unit, we do a heat load calculation. So we go through the whole house and we put together a heat load calculation. We have software that does it.
Okay.
And it tells you, the size of the unit that should be in there.
Like cubic feet or something like that?
Yeah.
So
Okay. Yeah. And your exposure, where your windows are, how how your house is facing, all that stuff. Are you getting the afternoon sun? Are you getting the morning sun? So bigger isn't better. Especially during this humid time. You want that air conditioner to run a little bit longer because now it's doing two jobs during the humid summer. It's conditioning your air, it's doing a heat exchange and taking that hot air out and and cooling it. But it's a refrigeration unit, so it's taking out that humidity. That's why during this time of year when the rains start, you look over at your condensate pipe on the side of your house and it's flowing. There's water flowing through there. Usually May and June when it's really, really dry, there's no water flowing through there. Because there's really no humidity to pull out of your house.
Not in Southern Arizona.
Yeah.
Right.
But this time of year, when our rain started already, it's 105 degrees until it rains and then rain pours and we have 80% humidity.
Right.
It has a tough job of pulling that humidity out of your house.
Now, are people still getting swamp coolers these days?
There's some out there, very few, but there is. And then, of course, you have commercial swamp coolers because you have warehouses.
Okay.
Yeah. Like our warehouse, we have that huge roll-up door, so it wouldn't make sense. I mean, we just couldn't air condition that warehouse.
Right. It would take a ton.
Yeah, it would.
Multiple tons, I suppose.
And you open that huge door and let all that heat in, and it just won't work.
Okay. So even now, we've had a swamp cooler on our house. I don't think we've ever even used it. And so I think that my wife's grandmother grew up with a swamp cooler.
Sure, so did I.
And that's kind of like what was done. Can they still get your house pretty cool in the summer?
Up until it gets humid.
And then you're
because it's if you think about it this way, a swamp cooler is kind of like, so when you go outside, it's hot but it's dry outside, and you start sweating. That's a natural thing to cool your body down.
For sure.
Yeah. But when it's really humid outside, say, it's 105 outside, but it's really humid outside, and you start sweating, you get soaking wet, you're really not cooling yourself down that much.
Right.
Same thing with the swamp cooler, the evaporative cooler. So you have an environment where it's saturated with humidity already.
It's just not.
And then you're
job.
just putting wet air on top of that. There's no evaporative effect to it.
So you just need a lot of fans.
Yeah. You're just trying to get the air moving.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of this summer heat, it's also time for summer travel.
It is. Yep.
And so I've noticed a lot of people getting out of town right now. They see the weather forecast. Oh, we got triple digits. Okay, that's the week that I'm going for my vacation.
Yep.
San Diego.
Anyone
north,
that can get out of town in June and July.
They're often taking their vacations
gone.
at that time.
Yep.
And I looked at some stats on this, and it is significant difference. And so when we talk about kids, not only do we have the summer travel, we also have the lack of a lot of the organized activities. And so I saw some these are very loose. I don't want to say study, but let's say surveys.
Okay.
That 42% increase in screen time over the summer. And
sure.
so if you are taking those road trips and you got this fantastic boredom defeating device in front of you, one thing that we tell, and we just made some videos on this as well, is just really making sure that we're not looking down. And I have seen a ton of people lately here with and this is the funny thing is it's it's not just the young people. This is also our senior citizens.
Yeah.
I have a lot of people playing on the iPads this time of year, in that hunched over position. And if it's not the neck, the shoulder, and the numbness and tingling in their hands and fingers, or the headaches that those stiff, tight muscles create, it's now we're actually thinking about how when we're here, we're not breathing as well. And so our lungs are compressing, right? So we're not getting that full breath.
Okay.
And so fatigue, and it's just kind of this cycle that goes over and over and over and over again. And so I would say, I love to travel. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's the thing, if I've any free time and any extra resources, I'm like, okay, let's just go check it out. I love to come back to here, but then I like to get away and it's our fun time. So how do we use these things better? And one of the things that I was telling people is in our office, you might see people, Danielle is really good at doing this, is lifting people's arms up. So if we see
she's
people,
done it to me.
so if we see people in our seats, kind of where they're supposed to be moving their spine in the wobble cushion wobble area, and their heads are down and their chest is sunken in, we're going to say, hey, why don't you lift those elbows up and try to get those elbows up to your shoulder? And so it's a very simple thing, try to keep that up. When you're driving the car, let's say you're waiting in the parking lot or you're waiting somewhere in the car, try to keep that head against that headrest,
yes.
setting yourself up for success that way. And so with all that driving, we start seeing an increase in knee pain. Because a lot of people, when they're driving, and I know you have quite a few drivers on the road right now, we were just talking about one of your trucks, you actually put your feet kind of off to the side like that.
Yeah.
And so we kind of do that toe out type of thing. That's constantly putting torque on that knee. And so we'll see that people who drive a lot more, especially on these road trips, the summer traveling, that they're going to have some increased knee pain. So really making sure that your bottom, your hips are all the way back into the seat, and that your toes and your knees and your hips are all pointing in the same direction. It's going to save you some quite a bit of pain. We used to have an employee or a person that worked with us, Miguel. He drove an hour each way to get to work.
Yeah, that's right.
And he was starting to get knee pain. He's like, I don't get it. Like, I'm not playing sports anymore. I'm in my 20s. Like, what is going on with this knee pain? And the thing is you kind of get lazy in the car. The foot turns out, and then we start getting that knee pain, which turns into hip pain, which then turns into back pain. And so save yourself some time, some effort, some grief, and put that heel back out there. Try to keep the whole leg against the dash if you can, or against the center console. It'll save you some effort on that as well.
Okay. Let's talk real quick. We probably have about 3 minutes. Since you're talking about the neck and being hunched forward, what about a person that's at their desk all day?
Well, I know we are just designed to move, and so if this is just who you are, I mean, Liza is at the desk, front desk, all day long, every day, 5 days a week. It's just that's how she makes a living.
Sure.
And so I know that is true for everybody else. So, just saying, oh, don't do that anymore is not going to be very effective, right? And so how do you minimize that? For us, the cheapest thing that you could do, let's say you are working from home, get that the Bluetooth keyboard and mouse. And so even if it's a matter of getting a couple of books, put that laptop screen or put a screen up a little bit higher so that way you're not looking down, we're looking straight ahead, maybe even up a little bit for some of the time. That's helpful. If you're invested at working at home, Costco, I think it's like $300 right now. Get that elevated desk. We've given them away at our office. I encourage people to get those. I think it's a great way. We have something very similar at the front desk for Liza, so that way she can stand up, raise that thing up a little bit, and it's at eye level. So I think that's super important. And then honestly, it's doing the right things when you can. And so if you're there for 8 hours a day, that means beforehand you need to have a routine. And so what is that routine before you go to work? For my wife and I, it's 100 crunches. And so and don't let the number scare you. Start with 20. And I don't mean like these full-on sit-ups. And this is not for your six-pack. This is literally to get your spine and your muscles moving, because if you wake up and you barely get a coffee down and you go show up and work and you're still half asleep, you're not going to have great posture to start with, and it only goes downhill from there.
Right.
And so if you got to start at the mountaintop, and you know that your day is going to kind of bring that posture down. So start higher. Maybe you're ending a little bit lower than you'd like to be. And then at the end of the day, what I love to do is hang from a pull-up bar. This is good for men, women. I'm not telling you to do pull-ups.
Yeah.
That'd be great. But if you literally $25 at Walmart, get a pull-up bar, put it in your door frame of your we have it in our master closet, and I hang every night. I usually do some flexion extension with my neck as I hang. So it just kind of tractions out and opens up my body because I'm bending over people too. And so anyone who spends any amount of time looking down at a screen, I always say, if you do the crime, you've got to do the time. And so if you know you're going to do the crime, then prevent some of the damage of that crime ahead of time and then recover faster by doing some of the traction and the pull-ups. And of course, yes, I'm a chiropractor. I get adjusted every week, multiple times a week. My kids, they're always asking me for better performance for swimming. They come to me and say, Dad, can we get adjusted today? Hey, it's usually at the most inopportune times, but let's get adjusted. Let's get adjusted. And it's because when your body is moving better, you can respond better, you can recover better, and you can adapt better to your world.
That's right. And you probably have less brain fog.
Oh, man. No doubt about it. Like we were just talking about briefly, the breathing. So if your chin is to your chest and you try to take a deep breath in, you're not getting as much oxygen into your body. And so if we can restore proper alignment, you're getting more air in, you're getting more oxygen into your tissues, your cells, you're going to have more energy, just how it works.
That's right. Hey, thank you, Dr. Joe, for coming in.
My
it's
pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, that's another episode of Southwest Flavor. Join us every Tuesday.